This is the DNA200 mod from SMY. This was sent to me for the purpose of using and reviewing. I'll review it to the best of my ability, what I know now. SMY authenticity, scratch off. This was sent to me directly by them. I don't think they sent me a clone. And then, okay, so this is the box it comes in, plain and simple, black, like that carbon fiber. And it's the sDNA chip from Evolv, their DNA200 chip. Okay, it comes with this ribbon, helps you pull that box open. QC, this did have a quality control inspection on October 28th. It passed. Nothing else in that box. A little bit of foam. Didn't really need it. User manual. You're going to need this. There's more of that carbon fiber. Matchy with, oh yeah, this is it. All right, we're going to talk about how it looks, how it vapes, the functions, and what we know so far. What else comes in the box besides these things is a little wee tiny charging cable. Get a better one. This is also your eScribe lifeline. So hey, listen, they only have this little reservoir in here to fit something. So they only give you, if you didn't have anything else, yeah, you could use this. Me, I have like a 6 foot long cord that I use because this one is just too tiny. All right, so you use this both for charging the LiPo as well as connecting to your eScribe, connecting to your Windows-based system. If you're a Mac user, you're going to have to find Windows because it's not, you can't use eScribe on a Mac, much to my frustration. Okay, so here it is. This is the device. It doesn't ever really turn off. I've used this through about 4 charging cycles. Here's your 510 connection over here. Mostly I've used this in wattage mode. I have used it in nickel mode as well as stainless steel. And I'm going to show you a couple of profiles that I set up. This doesn't come with any profile set up, so be careful. Because if you just slap any old atomizer on here, you could be in for a very nasty surprise when this thing wails out on you at 200 watts. All right. Right now, it's currently showing the battery life. Well, let me just show you a couple of things about this. You need to go through this. You need to read this through again and again and again until you understand this stuff. It takes a while. I'm not fully understanding everything that this thing does, but other than the fact, here's what's different. Battery capacity, 1600 milliamp hours times 35C times 3 cells. All right, my friend Pegasus tested these, Pegasus Vapor Academy. He says these are not true 1600 milliamp hour. It's closer to 1500, just shy of 1500, but that's still leading the field right now. The 11th of November 2015, 1500 milliamp hour 35C cells, 3 of them in a LiPo in a device this size is right now the most milliamp hours of any DNA200 device on the market. All right, so he tested them. That's what he said. I believe it. So I had to go. Now listen, this thing comes pre-programmed thinking it's got the Vaporshark 900 milliamp hour batteries in there. So you have to actually go in there and change the battery setting because when you charge this thing, it thinks it still only has 2700 milliamp hours. You have to change that so it knows that it now has 17 watt hours or 17 hours. Anyway, you go in there and you change the thing in eScribe. It's the only way. You can't do it on here. You have to go in and do it on eScribe. All right. What else do we know about this thing? blah, 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 all this stuff. It goes from 200 to 450 degrees. 450 degrees is the default setting for max temperature limit. It goes from 200 to 600 degrees. Output current continuous 50 amps. Instantaneous peak 55 amps. This thing is capable of delivering quite a lot of power. It does get up to true 200 watts. All right. I don't know what any of this stuff. There's like nuances to this that you can really get into. There's a preheat. There's a ramp up. Thing's powerful. And there's a very sensitive temperature control by sensing minute changes in fluctuation, increase in resistance of the atomizer. All right. There you go. So it's on. I'm just going to show you a couple of profiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puts it in lock. Once you do that, you hold these to change the temperature. Okay? That's how I'm changing my temperature. There we go. Profile 1, Subverter Mini. I did this. This is a nickel coil, NI200, and I made a profile for this tank using nickel on eScribe. So that's how I vape with that. And it's at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. New coil. Yes. It's already got the resistance in there at 0.14. Okay? And I'm vaping. See how that goes? All right, say I want to change again. Profile 5, 6, 7, 8. Profile 2, crown stainless steel. See, I put the crown tank on here and just hit fire, and this thing wailed off on me because it got confused. It's reading stainless steel, and I think it went into like a stainless steel mode at 200 watts, though. And it like cooked my ass. So you can't, just be careful. So how do I get a stainless steel profile in here? New coil, yes. Now watch. See how it's reading 0.29? 0.28? I went into eScribe. I set up a profile for the crown tank with stainless steel. That's a 316L stainless. And I went into, it gives you a link right to Steam Engine, and you can look up known metals. If it's a specific manufacturer that's uploaded their data into eScribe, then you can just pull it right from there, from Steam Engine. So Steam Engine has all these different metals, and if it's not on there, then you have to kind of call the manufacturer and you have to get the information on these coefficients of the metal. But this actually had, so now this is ready to go for stainless steel at 60 watts in temperature control. Isn't that interesting? Let's go vape that. All right, that's how that works. Just be careful, make sure you set the profile before you go doing that. And I'm going to suggest something. Stay away from stainless steel unless and until you get the exact what you've got on there. I just seem to have issues with it. It's not that accurate with this. I don't know if it's reading this correctly all the time. It may think it's a lot higher resistance than it is or something. I'm not sure, but I do have issues with my crown tank on this that I don't have with anything else. Now, I'll tell you what I've mostly been doing on here is just, see, these other profiles are blank. This profile 3, it's just blank. And I had to go in and blank them out because they all actually had a default of like 200 watts. So you don't want that going on. Let me get this out of power locked, hold up and down. Yeah, 85 degrees is good. Here's the build I have on here. This is rugged wire. It's like a 0.11 build. It's a very aggressive build for, it's not Canthal. It's not Canthal. It's a very aggressive build. I wouldn't go suggesting the average beginner vapor get into this build. It's probably not going to work out too good for you. But anyway, let me just show you. It's an awesome vape. It's, you can set Canthal in temperature control with this. You can set stainless steel in temperature control with this. And I'm going to be playing around with these. But now that it's not in the lock mode, it's no longer going through. But that's how you scroll through the different profiles. And later in this video, maybe I'll show you my eScribe, how I set up the profiles. And I am still playing around with this. I would say proceed cautiously. This thing has a lot of power. And if you don't have it in the right profile, or it kicks into just one of the default profiles, you're going to be at 150, 200 watts, scorch right off the top. And that's not fun. But it's really vaping great on there. I'm really enjoying the nickel profile I have from with the Subverter Mini. I mean, it can vape that. This battery can vape that for days. This I charged, today's Wednesday, Tuesday afternoon. I was vaping all yesterday and on to this morning. So far, so good. So that's the SMY DNA200. I'm sorry I don't have more for you. There's other guys that are way, way more advanced with this stuff. Consider me to be like the average vaping guy that, like you, that wants to explore a range of more elaborate and more intricate vaping. Okay, guys? Going to be downloading the eScribe software for my SMY. Where is he? SMY DNA200 with the Evolv chip. It's charging right now. Well, it's plugged into my laptop. So I'm going to download the eScribe software, which I have not done yet. And you go to evolvvapor.com. Scroll down a little bit. Here's the website. Now I don't want to buy a chip. I don't want to buy a LiPo. Here's the eScribe software. And then click here to download eScribe. So here it is. I've downloaded it. I have it right here. Opening setup files. Next. I agree. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to sit here and read that. I want to mess around with it. I have to agree. Destination folder. Yeah, okay. App data. Yeah, that's fine. Installing it. Right. Not too hard. So far, not too hard. Okay, I guess you need to give permission to, you see this? Dimension Engineering LLC. I guess I gotta say yes. USB serial. What is this? Install. All right. You got no choice if you want to have this. Installing. If you got this SMY DNA200, the charging cable is really so tiny it's almost useless. I mean, the thing is like 6 inches long. It's no good. I gotta get a longer one. I have a longer one, but yeah, I'm using that. That's right out of the box. That's like the cheapest piece of shit garbage little charging cable. And here, got a nice, much longer one. Use that. Five-inch long cable. What good is that to anybody? Who does stuff that's 5 inches away from their computer or a power outlet? All right. Now I installed a longer one so I can actually show you while I'm doing this what's going on. That little lightning bolt shows it's charging. It takes a very long time if you charge it off of like an accessory or an appliance. All right, finished. Start eScribe. Here we go. Here we are. Evolv. I don't know how to use this. Okay. So, connect and download settings, upload settings to device, device monitor, disconnect, Evolv DNA. Device monitor. Guys, the good news is eScribe has an interactive tutorial which you should do. After screwing around with that for probably another half an hour, I finally went and caved in and took the tutorial. And the tutorial walked me through updating the firmware on my mod, which there's always some updates happening on this stuff. Setting my battery correctly so that the device knows what type of battery it has in it. You have to set all this stuff up for your mod in eScribe and then upload to your mod. You have to like share information. You set the profiles and you actually have to load those profiles onto your mod. And then that's how I did those profiles that you saw earlier in this video. Do the tutorial. Don't skip the steps. You have to know what you're doing with this stuff and what it means. I'm still figuring it out, but fortunately I don't have to teach you eScribe and how to go through that. I showed you how to download eScribe. From there you can go to the tutorial. All right, guys. Enjoy.